Hey everybody, this is Rome with Tapped In Academy coming back to you with a weekly breakdown on gold and US30. Let's get to it.
Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get straight to it here. Let's go ahead and start breaking down US30 first. Let's go ahead and zoom out a bit. Let me get these things here cleared up. Let's go ahead and go to our daily. Matter of fact, we'll go to our weekly first real fast. Alright, so immediately off the top that I can see we have a double top here, broken lows where we have made an order block. Come across, we made a mitigation right here that's acting as current supply. So with that being said, I am bearish. I want to see some type of bearish turnaround happen inside of the zone, and I'll fully believe it. This week is FOMC, so we could see first half of the week push up. We do have news on Wednesday, so we could get that turnaround on that point. But overall, this is a very bearish trend right now, like change of character, and this is on the weekly. Okay. Now on the daily, what that would mean is that we could probably see, oh, we got a little bit of a volume imbalance up here that hasn't been filled. So we could see that as a target within this area up here. So you want to make sure y'all go to your dailies and mark off this little zone right here. It's actually very interesting. We're going to label this as a price void. Alright. Yeah, on the weekly, still bearish. Daily wise, like in the short term, it's been bullish leading up to this. But I'm really bearish until we break up above this 41,000. Let's just call it 750. Really this level here, the 42,200. Really until we get up above that, I'm just gonna really remain bearish, and I think that potentially sells could give us a better long-term fall. Looking at this over here. Looking at this over here, this does give it a chance of pushing up and breaking through this high over here because we failed to make this low, but still going off of that weekly time frame. If we don't get any turnaround in this area, then yeah, I'll be looking at buys up above. But until that happens, I'm going to be looking at sells within this zone here, and hopefully being able to catch something continuing out through the rest of the week or even through next week. We can look at our 4 hour real quick, try to zoom down in time just a little bit here. Clean up a little bit more stuff over here. Yeah, right now it's just making literally clean structure up here. Once we start to get like a bearish change of character, especially on like the 1 hour, I would say, that's when I would definitely, excuse me, that's when I would definitely start looking at entering my sells and having even more confidence in them. Because until then, in the meantime, like I said before, it's bullish on this time frame as it's doing the pullback on a bearish weekly. Okay, so those are things that I'm looking at for US30 here right now. But let's go ahead and look at gold as well too. All right, let me get this cleaned up a little bit. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on gold. We're gonna start with our weekly real quick. All right. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I just had my dinner here, so I kind of ate myself into a little food coma. All right, so we do have a fair value gap here on the weekly time frame. I'm going to go ahead and mark this off real quick. This could be our sell side target for it to dip into a little bit and then continue on being bullish. Looking at our daily here, we had a price void that ended up getting wicked into and filled. Well, with that, we had a mitigation that we ended up closing below and actually staying below. We're back at another mitigation right here. So, like I said before, we could wick into this zone and just pull in some liquidity from that fair value gap on the weekly time frame. So if I start to see bullish action around the 31.77 range, I'll believe it and I'll definitely try the longs. Plus, we're getting close to the SMA on the daily as well too in that range. As you can see, the last time we were there in the daily zone, and we hit a fair value gap that's right here. So this is the last time that we had that combo on gold. All right, this was the fair value gap that we dipped into. SMA right here as well. One touch, almost two touch, and then gone. So we could see something similar Oh yeah, we kind of already do. We have a almost touch, a doji like we dojied over here. Now we could see a nice bottom wick to it, give us a nice solid reversal pattern at this range. And like I said, if we get a reversal pattern in this zone over here, I'll believe it. I will believe it. So like I said, if y'all are watching the charts at that time, y'all see the bullish change. Understand, I'm probably in that buy with you. Probably there. But let's look at our 4 hour real quick here because we have a nice clean head and shoulders up here, broken low over here as price comes down and breaks down below. It's pulled back into this fair value gap right here, gave us a nice bearish reaction. And as of right now, we have to believe that's going to continue to sell through because we haven't had a actual bullish change of character as of yet. We did have closure above this. Excuse me. Above this mitigation here, but that was to make a lower high. Until this high is taken out and it doesn't break this low, I have to remain bearish for the time being. But once we get to here and we start to see a change of character for the bulls, I will definitely take a try for it. We could end up seeing something like this on the 1 hour where it comes down, boom, boom, breaks this high right here. There's probably some type of mitigation in this area or a fair value gap over here in this range, and it'll just line up off of that, and we get a nice extension out of there. Okay, because once we see it stop making lower highs and it fails to make a lower low, and we pop up like that, I'm going to expect it to make a higher low, and that's where I want to go ahead and get in from rejecting out of this zone here. Okay. We'll look at our 1 hour real quick as well too. The 1 hour did have a good reversal pattern. Like it bought up here, closed up above this mitigation and this mitigation here, pulled back into it, hit this fair value gap right there, and just continued on. But now, if we look at this zone right here, because this is acting as a supply slash demand depending on where we are on it. So as you can see, when we were above it, price wicked down into it nicely and popped up. Now we're below it. If price wants to hold down below, I'll expect this to be what's pushing it down into this zone here. Once we do get that reversal from this zone here, I'll definitely look at taking some partials up at this area, or even closing out my trade. That's about 400 points. All right. But yeah, right now with this right here, it's kind of a head and shoulders as well too. We got a shoulder, head, potential shoulder right here. So this is pretty much what we're dealing with right now. When it comes down to these two, do remember that we have big news Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I believe. So there's going to be a lot of liquidity inside the markets. I would highly advise waiting 30 minutes after the closing of the news. So at that point, price kind of figures out where it wants to go. And it just makes it a much easier experience for you guys. But if you guys have any questions or anything like that, make sure you reach out to me of one of two places. The first one would be at Tapped In Academy on Instagram, or you can reach out to me at king_of_Rome. Those are only two places. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys then, and good luck this week.